What's up, everybody? Here we are for another review on the Daredevil and Hydroman 2-pack. So here's the box. Just a quick little spin around of what the box looks like there with the very nice design and stuff like that. And here are the figures. So let's take a look at the figure that nobody's excited for. So here's the Hydroman figure. It's mid. It's good, but it's mid. So let's take a look at some details here real quick. So, got a very nice face sculpt going on there. Sorry, Hydroman, but I don't know what viewing is. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, the detailing on the face sculpt isn't too bad. I mean, the figure is all just clear, but I do like the little bits of white detailing that kind of give it that kind of animated water look. So it does look pretty good. I mean, all things considered, it is pretty basic. There's not really much you could really do with a water guy, but I think they did just enough. Just enough. And I do like the sculpt work for, the pants and stuff, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this type of sculpt before, and it is a very hard, just clear plastic. But it's not too bad of a figure. It does have some issues, which I'll get into. But, yeah. Oh no. Not too bad. So let's get into articulation. So for the articulation for Hydroman, his head is on the hinge and ball joint, so it can go back about that far. It is ratcheted for some reason and very stiff, but it can go down about that far. Kind of hits his chin a little bit there. And his head can go all the way around, go side to side. Pretty basic, and there's no butterfly joints either, but the arm can go up about that far. It does have bicep swivel. Arm can go all the way around with no limitations, and he does have a double jointed elbow, but here's where one of the problems come in. This arm won't move. It is stiff and it's stuck, and I don't know if I have to heat it up or not. But that's something I shouldn't have to do when I get a figure. I shouldn't have to heat it up. But anyway, the wrist can swivel and hinge just like Marvel Legends can do. Just like that. And he does have an ab crunch, so it can only crunch for about that far. And back about that far. And he does have a waist swivel. No drop down hips, but the leg can go up about that far. Back about that far. And he does have a thigh swivel. And he has double jointed knees. And the foot can go down only so far. Up about that far. He does have ankle pivot. Like so. So particularly is pretty basic. But what can you really ask out of a Hydroman figure? Now getting him out of the way, let's take a look at the figure everyone cares about. The Daredevil figure. Now this Daredevil figure is fucking fantastic. I love this thing. Let's just take a look at the details real quick. That shading is just crazy. And I know they released a Ben Reilly Spider-Man figure, part of the retro card wave, and they didn't put this type of shading on it. Really? But anyway, this face sculpt is just perfect. So, I just gotta say, good job, Hasbro. And there is a problem with my head sculpt with the lips, but other than that, this figure is just really nice. And I was a little bit scared that mine might have not come out as well, because I know some people had some missed printing or paint, but mine came out actually pretty well. So I'm not even disappointed at all. This honestly is because I was just getting this pack only for the Hydroman, but I think at this point I'm probably going to keep the Daredevil, because I was thinking about selling it, but I'm probably going to keep it because it actually looks pretty fire, in my opinion. I'm not the hugest Daredevil fan, but man, this thing is cool. I even have the cell shading on the holster there. This thing just looks so cool. I can't get enough of this figure. This figure is just insanely good. I just can't get enough of it. It's honestly the perfect figure. Now, let's get into the articulation, because I think that's where it shines. So no hinge. It is on the double ball joint thing, so he doesn't have really much movement in the head, but decent amount. Same as you can usually get. It does have butterfly joints, so they go back in about that far, back about that far. His arms can go up about that far, and down about that far. They do spin all the way around. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which are pinless, and he does have a swivel at the wrist, same as every Marvel Legends, but for some reason, my wrist there looks like there was a piece cut out of it. So, bad job, Hasbro. But, see, it's on the other side. But, anyway, he does have a diaphragm joint here, so you can go all the way around with that. He does have an ab crunch too as well, so I can crunch forward about that far, and you can go back about that far. No waist swivel, of course. He does have drop down hips, so his leg can go up about that far, and can go back only that far. Does have thigh swivel right there, and his holster piece is loose. He does have double jointed knees, like so. He has a boot cut swivel. His foot can go down about that far, up about that far. He does have ankle pivot, and he does have a toe hinge. So, pretty similar. Now let's take a look at the accessories. So, taking a look at hydroman accessories first, he comes with these two fists, and these two open hands, and he comes with these two accessories. And these just plug onto his feet. So, to plug those onto his feet, basically what you're going to do is see the part that is more on the flatter side, that's going to go into the innermost leg. So, it goes in just like that. So that way the bigger part's on the outside of the legs. Just like so. Now let's take a look at Daredevil's accessories. So he has these two kind of gripping open hands. These are for his baton sticks. He comes with these two splayed out kind of hands. And he comes with these two fists. And he also comes with another head sculpt. And this one has some different shading on it than opposed to the other figure. And it's a more kind of stern expression with his mouth closed. Definitely painted a little bit better than my mouth open one. But here you can take a look right there. You can tell the shading is a bit different, which is a pretty cool touch. I like that. And both heads are the same sculpt for the most part, except for the mouth area. But they do look pretty good. And he also comes with these two baton sticks. Now these two sticks have a no painting on it, but they have holes at the top, and they do have this sort of sculpted design to them. And you can actually take these and bring in the figure here. You can actually put the batons in his holster thingy. So just sticking one in there, just like that, and taking the other and sticking it in there, just like that. He can just have them just kind of sitting in there, which is pretty cool. So you can just kind of store them in that little pouch thing. So bringing in the kind of gripping hands here, you can put the baton sticks into his hands. They just kind of slide on in like so, and he can pretty much hold his batons just like so. So that's how you put the batons in the hands. But he does come with one more accessory. He comes with this wire. Now it's not a bendy wire. Don't even try it. I know you're gonna try it. Don't even, because I already did, and well, mine's a little bit bent right there. So yeah, don't even try. It's not wired, which kind of blows, but it's whatever. But bringing back in the baton sticks, see that hole at the top right there? You're just gonna plug it in the hole on both ends. So you get one right there, and you're gonna bring in the other, and you're just gonna plug that one on in too, just like so. And that's how those plug into each other. So now we can put it into his hands, and it creates for a nice dynamic accessory. Now, getting onto some size comparisons. Just like with my last two 2-packs, I'm putting them right next to each other, so that's how they look together there. Both Hydroman and Daredevil. Now, bring Hydroman off to the side. I'm going to bring in the animated Spider-Man. So here's how they look next to the animated Spider-Man figure. I think the size scaling looks pretty good here. Not too bad. Definitely the animated Spider-Man and Daredevil work pretty well, and I think Hydroman and Spider-Man work pretty decent. So taking the animated Spider-Man out of the way, let's bring in the black suit Spider-Man, which shares the same body with Daredevil, which makes the black Spider-Man and Daredevil basically the same height. I still think that this black Spider-Man's a bit too big. They definitely should just use the animated Spider-Man body. I don't know why they didn't. They should have. And maybe just added toe articulation to the animated Spider-Man body. But anyway, that's how Black Spider-Man looks next to him. And bringing in just a couple other comparisons here. Here we have Mary Jane. See how Mary Jane works with them. Mainly due to the Mary Jane Hydroman storyline. But she doesn't look too bad next to Daredevil either. So taking her out of the way. Let's bring in Green Goblin. Right here. So here's the Green Goblin figure. Looks pretty good next to it. And let's just bring in Shocker. There's how Shocker scales up next to him. Right there. And here is the Limp Dick Doc Ock. See how they stand next to him. I'm not sure if the scale is accurate on that. I don't know. But for one last final comparison, here is the Rhino, which is definitely out of scale. But this figure pack is pretty cool. And plus with those water bits, you can recreate this. No! So for some final thoughts, I think this 2-pack is pretty worth it. I mean, the Hydroman is pretty decent. I mean, mine has issues. Yours probably won't. But the Hydroman is pretty decent. The water effects are nice. But there's not much going on with the Hydroman figure. But as far as he goes, I mean, he's pretty basic. It's not much to talk about. I mean, he does look nice next to Spider-Man. If you do have the Mary Jane, it is a nice little bit of posing that you can do with them. For their specific episodes, it's very episode specific. This Hydroman is good for, in my opinion. But as far as the Daredevil goes, man, that Daredevil is so good. I think the Daredevil is the main selling point of this 2-pack. If you were to get it, the Daredevil is definitely worth it. That accessory piece to make the batons basically on that rope just is really nice, and there's a lot of posing you can get with that. Even though it doesn't have bendy wires, there's still a lot of posing you can get with it by just moving it around. The shading is nice, the articulation is great. Mine has issues, but it's nothing major. But man, the Daredevil figure is just really good. And I mean, for like $40, you cannot go wrong. It is a pretty nice set, and I do recommend it if you're in the market for it. But anyway, that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe.